Week one, stand in your foundation. And this is an important part. Like, our foundation is built for us to really come into a place that gives us power in so many ways. And so you want to learn to stand strong. And you want to evaluate that in every part of your week. As you go through week one, you want to begin to see what was your foundation built on. You know, a lot of times we think we want love in our life, but then we're always miserable. So actually your foundation has been built around misery in some way. So as you move through and you start to see where your foundation is, where do you land your shoes? What do you do with everything that you do? How do you move from one place to the next? Really just begin to understand the undercurrent that is actually happening as you move through. The moment that we realize that we're not aware is the moment that you become aware of something. So just be open to seeing and understanding you, your foundation, your practice. It's so important to get into it right now. You know, we talk about 3 days of practice will change your body. 5 days will change your life. So it's your choice. However you want to do it, go do it, get into it, understand the foundation. And then your meditation is really to dive into how you breathe in your meditation. So just beginning to understand your inner workings and what's happening in that way. So get in your meditations, 10 minutes, morning and night. And as you go to set up your meditation station, you know, you want to call it an altar, you can call it your station, whatever that is. I like to put the 4 elements around me. Something that represents the air, something that represents the earth, something that represents fire, which is usually a candle, don't burn your house down. And then also something that represents water, putting water in something. And what happens is those elements sit dormant and kind of at peace, I like to think of it. You know, a candle may be shaking initially, but then once everything aligns and all the elements are reacting with you and it's like you're bouncing it back and forth, it brings a different state of peace inside of you too. So I'd like to set up a station that has those things. It can be up on a table, it can be down on the floor. Remember, you are at home, be safe. You know, and then also your nutrition. Go ahead and look at that. Just begin to see how things are operating. What's the foundational things that you eat when something comes up for you? If you get upset, what are you putting in? If you're happy, what are you putting in? If you want love, what are you putting in? How are those things happening? You're usually probably feeding your body before you've actually given yourself a chance to think about it. So as we move through week one, there's keys to survival, and there's 2 of them that we're going to look at. The first is to be accountable. And so this gives you an opportunity to really pull back the power you've given away. When we blame things on everyone else, we give away our power. So allow yourself space to be accountable for why your life is where it is today. It's yours. You created it. No matter how much everyone else plays a part in it, you are the main character of your own life. And so go and be accountable for what you're bringing forward and let that open up. So the second part of the survival kit is to establish a new walk. Give yourself space to see just what you're creating. As we walk down a path, the only way to shift that is to change directions or do something else. As you keep going in the same pattern, you will always get what you always had. So establish a new walk for yourself. So the next part of week one is to really dissect the first 4 truths. Awareness. Become aware of everything that's going on. Be aware of yourself and how things are moving. Find stillness. This is a big one because the more still you become, the more you can direct and see how your mind is operating. So when you're meditating, when you're moving in your practice, when you're walking through your day, when you're listening to someone, when you start to fidget your hand, that's something going on in your brain, and usually it's a distraction from you understanding what you're thinking about. And then also be willing to be in creation. Be in creation, that you're doing it all the time. You're creating one thing to the next. And so be aware. Just become aware of how you're creating in your own life. And then the truth, another big one to pay attention to for the whole time, the 6 weeks. When you find the truth, you'll be free. So all you have to do is start to look around and see what is actually real in the world. The sun shines on all of us exactly the same. The rain falls on the just and unjust alike. See how it's happening. Find the truth in all. So that's it for week one. Peace.